really want to get into this ASAP. Our intention for today's workshop is really to support you to how to perform under pressure. What we're going to do is we're going to do a bit of a warm-up at the beginning, there'll be a bit of a cool down at the end, there'll be a workout after our warm-up, and then there'll be a breath session after. We're clear on how this is going to go? Perfect. When I say performance under pressure, when we go through the workout, the beautiful thing about training and working out in the gym is it's sort of really highly reflective of life. Out there, there's a lot of stress in here out there, so in here, you can put yourself into a space where you're going to have to actually work with stress to support you out there in the real world. Does that make sense? Beautiful.
What we've tried to do with this breathe room program that we've created is we've made a model that makes breath work understandable and applicable in the gym, and those same skills and awareness that we sharpen in the gym help us outside of the gym. So we've made a model where we use the breath to help us activate our nervous system, like a warm-up, help us, like caffeine, bring our nervous system up. We use breath to help us regulate, which we're going to focus on in between sets and in between our warm-up game. And then at the end in that breath work, the actual guided breath work session, we can use breathing to help us release some steam or energy from our nervous system. Blow off some steam. I feel like right now, that's probably the part that everyone's the most excited about, is blowing off a bit of steam, clearing our head. Because you'll feel very, very different in an hour than you feel right now. And you'll get to feel very different things that breathing can do for us. And breathing on the surface looks mad simple, right? We inhale, we exhale, or we don't do either of those things. But there's so much that we can do with this if we know how. Hope you have fun.
Beautiful. Show of hands, those of you who've never done breathwork before. That's pretty much everyone. Show your hands if you think breathwork is something that you do, Zen, Namaste, you go find a spot to meditate. Quiet space. What we want to share with you is, it's not just that. So, we use a bit of performance, then we can do Zen stuff after that. What I want you to do is, let's get a bit of connection in here first, introduce yourselves to each other, so you can get a touch, a high five, we're going to hug in, and with everyone exchange your names on the way through. Are we cool with that? Beautiful. Introduce yourselves.
Are you okay?
All right, so first, and then we'll move into some games. So we want to get the body activated, turn that nervous system on. So what we're going to do is find yourself a spot to actually kneel to begin with. A little something like this. There'll be 10 breaths, all through your nose, nothing through your mouth. That's round 1. 10 breaths, followed by a 10 count hold. Round 2, into your nose, out through your mouth, 20 breaths, 20 count hold. Last round, all through your mouth, nothing through your nose, 30 breaths, followed by a 30 count hold at the bottom, then a 30 count hold at the top. So 10, 20, 30, we breathe, we pause, we breathe, we pause, we breathe, we pause at the bottom, then we pause at the top, and then we're done. We're clear on how this works. Alex is going to demonstrate. So it'll look and sound a little something like this. Rapid breathing all through the belly, nothing through the chest, nasal breathing. Full breath in, full breath out, and then pause. 10 count hold. Round 2, in through your nose, out through your mouth, it looks like this. Beautiful. Everyone clear on this technique? Beautiful. Full breath in, full breath out, pause. Round 3, all through your mouth, nothing through your nose, and go. Rapid breathing, you're using your belly as a pump, no movement through the chest. You can see the shape on his mouth, right? It's changing the pressure. Full breath in, full breath out, pause. It'll be a 30 count hold at the bottom. Full breath into your nose, fill the belly and the lungs up with oxygen, and then pause at the top. 30 count hold at the top. Are we clear on how this goes? Beautiful. For 10 seconds in 3, 2, 1, and go. 10, 9. Feel free to close your eyes on down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. In through your nose, out through your mouth. 2, 3, 4, 5, last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 1, and go. All through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 3, 2, 1. Full breath in. Full breath out. Hold. Almost there. Full breath in. When you get to the top, pause. Take another sip in through your nose. Give a light contraction to every muscle in your body and hold.
One song, I do some pulses, hold my breath, do some pulses, hold my breath. That was maybe 90 seconds, but it kind of rattles my cage, it turns my nervous system on. I got a little bit hot, a little bit tingly. It's like caffeine and beta-alanine like packed into one, right? So now we're playing a game. How the game works is you and your buddy slap, bump, that means game on. The goal is touch my opponent's knee. If my opponent touches my knee, I gotta hit the deck and get up. If that's not accessible to us, 3 quick squats, slap, bump, game on again.
Now,
Okay?
you must tap and bump first. Don't just go in for the kill. Right, there must be a starting point. To get tapped. 30 seconds. Make your partner work, don't give it up easy.
Hit the deck, brah!
20 seconds, go. Find a new partner.
New partner.
Last rotation.
Last rotation. This is good, right? We've worked, but now let's get our breath back. How we're gonna get our breath back? Take a little sip, fill up, blow out the candles. Sip, fill up, blow out the candles. 2 more like that. 3 breaths in the nose, out the nose. Hard. In the nose. Out the nose. Seal your lips, put your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Watch the difference. No longer breathing like French bulldogs. Right? Notoriously perhaps not the fittest of the canine species. Take a little check-in now on how you feel after 8 breaths compared to how you felt before we did that. Now that game's fun and hard, and it's good because you forget to breathe because you're giggling and laughing and you don't want to lose, and then you're trying to win, and there's a lot going on. So when there's a lot going on, what do we lose focus of first? And who here has trained without enough sleep? Not enough food, not enough water. If I had made you hold your breath, how long do you think you could train for? Probably not as long, right? We can train hungover, tired, dehydrated, and malnourished, and we all think about our sleep and our food and all these things, and we've never probably really paid much attention to that thing that if I take it away from you, you will not think about anything else until you get it back. Your breath is like your health. When you don't have it, you can't think about anything else. Who noticed the tongue on the roof of the mouth trick for the nasal breathing? Who noticed that it makes it feel a bit easier when our tongue's up? That's a really important cue, because now we're gonna run through a little strength circuit. And our goal for you on the strength circuit is, whilst you're doing the exercises, I want you to keep your lips sealed, your tongue set to the roof of your mouth, and your teeth softly touching. While we work, we're going to be trying to move through our movements, lips sealed, tongue set, teeth soft.
When you're recovering in your rest phase, we can use those double pump inhales if we need to, or we can just go while we work, mouth shut. While we recover, we can use our mouth to exhale if we need to. Extra credit points if you can go through the whole circuit and not have to open your mouth. But don't sacrifice quality for silly goals.
Show of hands if you notice your heart rate come down when we downshifted your breath. That took 60 seconds. So when you're training, what I want you to know, what I really want you to take away from today and went through this strength part is that there's a difference in the way that we breathe when we do strength as opposed to when we do cardio. Quite often you walk around the gym, you'll see people doing weights like they're doing cardio. It's an anaerobic exercise, means without oxygen, right? You breathe as you need when you do weights. When we move through cardio, we breathe and we pace our breath. Does that make sense? So as Alex said before, when you're doing the strength part, when you're actually working out, control your breathing, breathe when you need to. When you're resting and you've done the swap over, you're focusing on recovery, bringing that heart rate on down. As much as strength isn't a cardio exercise, the resistance and the stress that'll put onto your physical body will increase your heart rate. Who's felt that when they train? This is the skill that we really want you to take away from today. The way that you breathe when you push weights and the way that you breathe through recovery will help support your performance through overall workout. And that when you finish your workout, hopefully you can get greater performance through a whole workout as opposed to your first 3 exercises and then fall to pieces on your last 3 exercises. Who can relate to that? Who's gone out the gates and then you're like your last 2 exercises, you're like, oh man, maybe
arms are at the end.
Maybe I don't want to do it. Maybe I might
end.
pull back on the reps. Maybe I might pull back on the sets. Maybe I don't need to do that last set, right? But if you can control your breathing, what we hope you can take away is that you can find your way to the end of your workout performing at your best. On your breath.
Nasal breathing. Smart move.
10.
And then when you exhale, just relax.
You got 20 seconds down.
It's hard to breathe doing core exercises.
And you are focusing on your breath for recovery. Control your breath. 5, 4. How's your heart rate going?
Still feel
How do you go and bring it down?
You're not using nearly as much energy to get it, right? Sometimes we pay too much money for our breath energetically. So it's like we might do a couple
Your
of hard
breath
ones,
controls your performance.
but then we can start going.
For those that are resting and waiting, you're focusing on your recovery
hard,
breath.
easier, and because
15
our body
seconds.
starts to go, oh cool, we've breathed hard, we've blown off that heat, only take a few.
Last 10.
Then we just got to slow down and like, ooh, shake it off.
But watching the way that you breathe when you're moving and when you're recovering.
Slow down the inhales to sip and then a fill up. And relax. Little sip, little fill up, and let it go.
Stay on point. Into your nose. Out through the mouth.
And then pop the pressure. In the nose, out the mouth.
We're going to start to pick this up to allow yourself to have a little bit of a release in the next round. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful work. If you've got a little tension that you need to move, this is that round.
Exhale.
You've got
Belly
2 minutes
first,
here.
belly first. Exhale.
Your job is to follow your breath.
Full breath in. And out.
Almost there.
I was like, oh, my mind.
Also, how quickly I can get the breath. Like my heart rate was still going. Like my heart was still going an hour, but my breath was.
Yeah.
Way more composed. You got a bit lightheaded, right? Towards the end.
It's like normal for me, but I feel like it took a while.
Yeah.
It's different.
Also, normally hits earlier.
Yeah, like I did.
So normally you get lightheaded faster, but today the lightheadedness is a bit of a slower build, and that's a fucking win for sure. That's a huge win.
Yeah.
Played that game. That was like 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, experienced so many different ways of breathing. Did you feel how different it felt, the way that you breathe when it changed?
When we do this, it's a completely different experience.
Yeah.
Yeah? Beautiful.
Like that second one with the knee tap,
Yeah.
like my mouth was shut.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Everyone clued on. They're just like, oh, okay. The first time sucked. Right. I can do better than that. Beautiful. 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 You were even doing the modules.
Yes. Bring it all in.
Yes.
Bring it all in.
I love
play,
that.
Which is great.
I'm like, she's like tapping into a wider. Yeah.
Yes,
Go there,
indeed.
sis. Yes.
Indeed.
Yeah.
The breath.
Yes.
Entry point. So I'm ever so grateful, and I'm just saying it's so wonderful to see two burly men
Yes.
talking about breath work.
Oh, it's like, men like things that work.
They do.
This breath makes everything work better.
It does, indeed.
Right.
And you just need to experience it.
Yes.
Walk through the door
Yes.
and have a go.
Well, once you've experienced it, you can't unexperience it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's too late now.
I've said that a few
Right?
times now.
You've drank the Kool-Aid now. It's too late.
Indeed, you can't unknow
No.
what you've just experienced. So I'm ever so grateful.
Oh,
it's
thank
just
you.
terrific. Spread the word.
Yes.
Indeed, and we'll all be calmer.
Yes.
Better
I don't know, I feel
people
so
for it.
much. I just feel like today's is going to be a great day today.
And how
Awesome.
many times
Awesome.
do you...
You're feeling all the endorphins?
Yeah.
Because we did the activation, you did the knee tap game, then you worked out,
Yes.
and you recovered. The difference, and then we did this. It's like so many different ways to breathe and the way that your body.
We don't do enough of the calming.
Yes. Yes.
It's because, the tingling sensation, I was like, when you said that, I was like, whoa. And I actually felt like I was shaking, but it was a good shaking.
Yes. It was energy leaving the body.
It's
Right,
great.
stress.
It needs to diffuse.
Yes.
It does.
Yeah. Well, it wants to, right?
It does, and you need
But
to show it.
we need to give it the space to do what it needs to do.
Yes, I've been doing a lot of vagus nerve stuff.
Yes. Yes. Beautiful.
And and you can't think your way.
Did that help?
Yeah, lost pop on Thursday.
Oh, bro. Give me a hug. Bro, so sorry to hear, bro. Well, maybe like through that, were you starting to find your mind start to expand like, oh, trees,
Inspiration.
plants.
Yeah, it started slowing down for a change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that you thought about trees,
Yeah.
right?
Pretty much.
It sounds like you tapped into a flow state,
Yeah.
and you're like, I'm going to get things that help support me to stay in this state,
Because I
because
find,
trees will help you do that.
and I find like when I go hiking, I get to that state, and I'm
Yeah.
like, this is very peaceful.
Yes.
Lightheaded during near the end.
Yes.
And he walked me through like a simple breath technique.
Yeah.
And I came to
Just like that.
pretty fast.
Uh-huh.
But usually I will actually pass out actually.
Yeah.
So good though. But so it's very good.
Sort of like recap on what we've done through here. Show of hands if you feel activated from the breathwork activation. Beautiful. Show of hands that from the workout, you actually got to perform better than what you usually would when you actually do exercise. Good. Who noticed that it helped to focus on your breathing through the recovery part in between while you waited? Awesome. And who feels quite peaceful after that last guided breath now? Okay. Who's feeling pretty good right now? Who's ready to conquer the day? Awesome. Awesome. So just show of hands if you got to feel how different your experience was throughout all those different ways of breathing. Okay, awesome. AB.
We've also, like we said at the start, created a model. This is a breath symbol, but seeing as like we're a part Polynesian, it had to be thicker. the breath symbol is normally very thin. So our breath symbol for the breathe room is a thicker symbol of the breathe room of the breath symbol. And if you just Google the breathe room, like with an E, you'll see our website. We have online courses. We're building an online space, and we have a personal development course through Clean Health, which costs less than a single psychology appointment. And I firmly believe that if you do that course and practice and implement it, you will either never need a psychologist, or if you do, it will help you be able to work through whatever you need to work through with whoever that therapist might be, because you'll have this ability to better navigate your nervous system, which makes it easier to articulate, communicate, or write down any kind of problems. And the crazy thing is, we made this for the gym. So we made a program for the gym that helps your mental health, I'd argue, better than most. So if you're curious, look up the Breathe Room and check out our stuff from there. But the course has 9 modules, 9 different breathwork techniques. And if you are a coach or a PT, there's a coaching course as well. That's a much bigger, more in-depth version of exactly the same thing. So thanks for having us.
What I'll send through there is I'll send you through the links for the courses, as well as our online community, which is on a platform called BTS. Some free resources in there. We have a Breathwork blueprint, which is basically like the way that I would use breathwork from the beginning of the day, at the end of the day, the way that we do. There's also the Breathwork blueprint. There's a mixtape. There's a mental health mixtape on there. How Alex and I actually became friends was he started talking to me about Wu-Tang, and I thought, he likes hip hop. I think we can be friends. So that's actually how this started. Last month we did go watch Wu-Tang, and it was good. But more than anything, it's not even about the breathwork. The breathwork is really the tool that we use to be able to move things, right? Who feels better now than when they first arrived this morning? Right? Breathwork is what we use when you're stressed. Breathwork is what you use when you're still not really awake, or maybe you hit that mid-afternoon slump. Breath is what you can use. Show of hands, those that love coffee. Keep your hand up if you know you take too many. Right? If it feels like, maybe I don't want to have the third coffee, breath could be a perfect thing. Maybe it's stress with inside of the relationship, right? Whatever it is, your breath can support you through it. Maybe you don't want to take another coffee, or maybe you just don't even want to be angry. It's just like, you know what, maybe I might learn my lesson from the last time I had an outburst, and you might take a few breaths. That's the way that we look at breathwork. It's like a Swiss Army knife that improves everything. A little magic dust that amplifies and enhances everything. So I'll send through all of that stuff. There's a lot of free resources. We're really excited to do this. The reason why we want to bring this to the fitness industry is because it is a commonplace that everyone in the community and society understands. It also doesn't exist here. So we just want to say a massive thank you for participating and sharing it today with us. We'll be back in 8 weeks' time to do this again. For anyone that wasn't here that wants to do it, that they can arrive. And if you want to come back here and do it again, come back through again. So, massive thank you for having us. If you want to ask us any questions personally after this, come chat to us. But other than that, we're done for the day. Thank you.
Maybe